well. As far as Tripura is concerned, other hazards are equally prevailing there. What I am looking, as Sarath knows that we are at least NIDM teams are frequent traveler to Tripura for various tasks related to disaster management, training, capacity building, and all those things. And you know that Tripura is very peculiar, and they are having big issues related to cyclones. Cyclones are disturbing the city, the state. Then floods are regular part there. Then sometimes drought are also occurring on and off. And forest fire, that is another thing which is disturbing the state. This is the situation which I can visualize sitting in Delhi and from NIDM. Then I told about earthquakes, and definitely being the hilly terrain, landslides is an integral part of the state. So it's a multi-hazard scenario, and building safe environment to cater these prevailing hazards in that, it's really a big challenge. So how the traditional knowledge is evolving in any locality, any area. So the thing is that construction practices basically evolve considering the local requirement, availability of material, what type of weather patterns are there, then what are the local traditions, customs, and to what are the space utilization. So, and this is the evolution of those housing patterns or the construction practices. But when we mix it with the disaster management, so disasters are also going to be integral part of our construction practices. You see that at the national level, a lot of knowledge has been generated for earthquake safe construction practices. But other disasters, it's limited, but definitely we have requested Arvinda Chaudhary Saab for giving our traditional safe practices for countering floods as well. So that is very unique of Tripura. So we are going to talk about that, and let's see that how our whatever exists knowledge which has evolved over a period of time has taken us into present scenario, and how can we safeguard from prevailing hazards in that state. As I was mentioning that there are large number of techniques already available at national level or internationally as well. And you see in Northeast, a lot of knowledge is there, not specifically to Tripura, but houses built with bamboo and thatch, those are quite safe against earthquakes. But those are not so safe against winds or cyclones. So this is a double whammy. So when one type of construction practice is good, so it's not safe for the other. So we have to develop that mixture so that our traditional knowledge should have to evolve, or our construction practices has to evolve, that all construction, whatever built environment we are developing, should remain safe for various hazards. Same is with floods. So kacha houses are very poor against floods as well, against earthquakes as well. So you have to mix that traditional knowledge, the modern knowledge, to make our built environment into a safe built environment, livable built environment, so that as I was telling, wherever those disasters or at least earthquake data, I'm having that, I have written on that aspect as well. So wherever disasters are happening, traditional knowledge is evolving, has evolved, and those have been documented by various scholars and researchers. As far as earthquake is concerned, from Kashmir, which is earthquake prone, to Uttarakhand, to Himachal Pradesh, to Northeast, to Nepal, to go to Turkey, to go to wherever you take the name, to go to Japan, go to anywhere where societies are living for years, they have evolved to safeguard against those techniques. So this, in the same series, we are going to discuss today about the construction traditional knowledge to safeguard ourselves in that state of Tripura. So with this, and as far what I can see from here, Sarath may correct me, that still, despite we are working almost for 30 years now in disaster management and doing our bit of efforts, public awareness is definitely a challenge at national level, or especially in states like Tripura or other states. So we have to, through these seminars, through these webinars, what we are trying to achieve is that we want to build that public awareness so that they can get sensitized for earthquake safe built environment or disaster safe built environment. Then lack of a techno-legal regime. There is no control on building technology. So you can build anything anywhere. So those are the things which are really, really very challenging for our sake. And in this context, we are organizing this webinar. And with this, I just conclude my opening remark. And let's listen to the experts. And I think Sumit has also joined, Sumit Milzar. So let's see that how we are going to discuss over the next 1.5 hours to 2 hours various techniques. The only humble request to all the speakers is that we have to follow our time limits. I have seen your presentations, which are slightly lengthy. So let's restrict ourselves with those things. So with this, I hand over to Yogita again. This is your turn, Yogita. And Sarath Saab, you have to formally welcome all the participants and all the speakers as well.
Yes, sir.
Giving, is it, am I audible? Whether my voice is coming?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yes, perfect. So, namaskar, very good afternoon to all. I'm so grateful to, NIDM, Nursing Institute Disaster Management, basically to ED, NIDM, for considering, such kind of innovative training programs, and specifically, Amir Ali Khan sir, Dr. Amir Ali Khan sir, propelling the new subjects, innovative thinking, and he pressurizes to think, differently, for disaster risk reduction, not only for the response and mitigation, but also combining in the other aspects. So I am really grateful. And today we are having the subject, traditional construction practices for disaster risk reduction, specific to Tripura friends. Dr. Amir Ali Khan, what he said from where he left, just I'm starting from there. That Assam type house. So you may be hearing the Assam type house. Assam type house is practicing the entire northeastern states, not only in Assam. Right. So what Dr. Amir Ali Khan sir told that to define that in 1897 when the Great Shillong earthquake happened. The entire northeastern state, was at the time the northeast frontier, NEF. So the headquarters was Shillong. At that time, the British was ruling there, and in Assam, the people they were practicing these lighthouses, the thatched houses, bamboo houses, and they were telling the name that it really originated from Assam. And 1897 earthquake, they saw the Britishers, they observed those lighthouses, the Assam type houses, they sustained. But these multi-story building, though the number of multi-story building at the time very less, they they're perished because 8.7 Richter scale of earthquake was massive. And in Tripura at that time, there is only one building, that is the palace. That is the White Palace, the Ujjanta Palace it is called. So that is also totally demolished, and there are so many factors and damage impacts of 1897 earthquakes. Then nobody can imagine. The people they could not. Though the earthquakes occurred on 12th June of 1897. After that, that Tripura people are Bengali people. They observed this Durga Puja in that year. The Tripura people they could not observe the Durga Puja due to this massive damage to their lives and also the properties, friends. Why I'm saying, emphasizing this in Assam type house. Assam type house not only was practicing in Assam after 8.9, 1897 earthquakes, the Britishers, they formalized the Assam type houses should be the earthquake resistant houses for these vulnerable areas like northeastern states. So Tripura also is practicing this, Assam type houses. But now you see what Amir Ali Khan sir is saying that now the different trends, different impacts are also coming because this Assam type house is very light. It cannot sustain during this the high winds and also during the cyclone and also this fire hazards and also the landslides. So now and also second impact is that the due to the land mass is very limited and we are urbanizing more, so people are converting their Assam type houses to multi-story buildings. Friends, these traditional houses, still the people, the older people who are there, even in the urban areas, even the rural areas, they are still preferring to this Assam type houses, right? Number two is that Tripura being a part of Northeast and also neighboring to Bangladesh and also this very the air proximity towards the Bay of Bengal is very less. It's not less than the impact of the coastal states where the cyclones are affecting more. The damage potential of high winds and also the cyclones is also similar, even the more than the coastal states in our country. Friends, though it is it's in the landlocked states, and in the if you look at the map of India, it's a small state, just like a peanut in the right hand side. So it looks it is totally out of these coastal areas, but the impact of cyclone is very very high. Next is that landslide. Here, the impact of landslide is very high, moderate to high, high, because the two factors. One is that here the soil is very, loose, very immature soil. It doesn't have the, rocks. And second thing, the water content, the water table is also very high. So that's why the impact of the landslide is very, very high during this, particularly the monsoon season regularly. It's an annual feature. And also if there's a tremor of, more than 4 or 5 Richter scale. Another thing I want to highlight over here, that during 2017, during the March, our Tripura state, witnessed a moderate earthquake of 5.7 Richter scale, wherein more than 1,000 rural houses also collapsed and many buildings were also damaged. At that time, the state government thought, now this Sendai framework, one of the components is the build back better. That time we thought, why not, we reconstruct the habitations, the damaged houses with proper and disaster earthquake resilient features. So now the our good friend, also the eminent resource person, Mr. Sumit, Engineer Sumit Majumdar is there. He can tell better. Through with the help of this rural development department, we developed models of reconstruct for reconstruction of the houses, the dwelling houses, so where the damage during the 2017 earthquakes, and that was embedded with because we are trying to inculcate the disaster resistant features with Prime Minister Awas Yojana, as well as the concept of disaster resistant features along with the resources available, this SDR, State Disaster Response Fund. Though fund is limited, so our rural development department worked hard to develop the model of the disaster earthquake resistant house within this very short time. Not only that, friends, the rural development department has also developed series of different models for different schemes, housing schemes for the beneficiaries, for the rural as well as the urban people. So I think he has he might have the presentation can discuss better. I'll highlight the another issues person, the eminent resource person, Mr. Kapil Baran Bhumik. He is the housing professional and he is working in the HUDCO. What he has done in the national level program in the Ministry of Urban Affairs, that the so many component schemes for housing schemes. He has taken off massive housing in our state, not only in our state but other areas also, by this thing incorporating this local available metals, basically the bamboo, cane, and other things. And he'll tell better on these components. And our third resource person, the eminent resource person, I should say, is the disaster risk reduction practitioner, Mr. Aravind Chaudhary. He has long, this thing, the experience in the disaster management, and he is a person from the community, and also he's a community-based, disaster professionals. Always I used to say, and he also experimented by using the locally available plant, how it can resist this, soil erosion. To and also benefits to the local farmers and also the local community to revive their land and also to safeguard of their houses. Friends, there are so many things to discuss about due to the paucity of the time, so I am not elaborating more. But in due course of time, after the presentation of our eminent resource persons, then we can have the detailed discussion. So many thanks, and welcome again to be here in our webinar. One thing I want to clarify over here: this webinar not only for the Tripura, it's for sharing the knowledge of Tripura to our country, to outside the country, and also to gain knowledge from you all to us, how we can incorporate our state. And also many thanks again to NIDM for evolving within such kind of an innovative topic, and also definitely we'll work more on deeper and deeper in future. And though my secretary, Mrs. Tanusi Debarma, she was supposed to speak something due to the other engagement. She conveyed her many thanks and gratitude to NIDM and also all the participants who are here in this webinar. So kindly learn and also share your ideas, so that we can learn from you. Many thanks. Many thanks. Over to Vegeta.
Please, because ED and IDM is also is not in a position to join, and he's busy, and he has sent his greetings for the success of this program. And let's go ahead, I think, and with a request to all the eminent speakers to confine within the time limits. So this is really a big challenge, and let's hope to come out with good solutions for by applying those traditions, whatever is available for rural housing, for community housing, for mass housing. So that is for that purpose that we are discussing all these things. Over to you.
Thank you, Ekta. Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible? Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot to NIDM and Revenue Department for giving me such a platform to share my experiences in this regards. So straight away, I'll go to my presentations, PPT. Okay. Okay. Today, my topic is mainstreaming of traditional construction practices for earthquake safety in Tripura. Uh, uh, this is the brief about my state. Tripura, excuse me, just. Tripura is located in the southwest extreme corner of northeast region with 10,492 square kilometer geographical area, out of which about 60% area is covered by hilly and forest lands. Tripura is landlocked state and surrounded by the Bangladesh with 856 kilometer international border, 53 kilometer with Assam, and 109 kilometer with Mizoram. And this is one of the smallest state, basically smallest state in the country, having a communication bottleneck and situation in highly disaster-prone areas and under Zone 5, with a high population density, second highest in northeastern region. Apart from all these constraints, Tripura is one of the best state in our country in rural development, health, education, and agriculture sector. Tripura lives in a village as rural population forms 82.94% of its total population, around 36 lakhs, as per the census 2011. And average rainfall, annual rainfall is 2200 mm. In the zonation map of India, you can see the Tripura. Tripura is here only. Is a very small. We are in red zone under zone 5. We know that it's a very earthquake-prone zone and disaster-prone zone. Today, I'll talk about the rural housing sector. Basically, what major challenges we are facing. Housing deserves significant attention in the context of developing policies and strategies for human development. Providing durable houses to the rural poor economic class remains always a major concern to the government. In our state, house building scenario is very much expensive. And this is mainly because of the high cost of conventional building materials like cement, steel, brick, stone, TCICs, etc. One brick cost is around 14 to 15 rupees in our state, and cement bags is nearly 400 rupees. So you just can imagine how costly affairs is, basically. And high transportation cost of the material due to communication bottleneck and dearth of skills among the local construction workers are also major issues. We are basically situated in the landlocked areas surrounded by Bangladesh, and one part is India, and we are having only one national highway, which is coming from Assam to Tripura, and our major materials are coming from West Bengal, basically northern part of India, and transportation cost is very high. Just because of that, our conventional building materials cost is very high. And in Tripura, basically, construction workers are not very skilled. What we have identified during in 2011 areas. So we have developed some institutions in this regards. I will talk to you in this regards later on. Disaster risk reduction is another major challenges in built environment sector, as the state is situated under Zone 5. So it's a fact that we are situated in the basically earthquake-prone zone. So disaster reduction to make a earthquake resilient structure is very important for us. The government allocation in rural housing sector is also not adequate enough for making a durable house with basically proper disaster resilient features due to high materials and labor and transportation cost. Even the recent enhanced unit cost, basically in PMOIG, for plain areas is 1,20,000, and for hilly areas, for like our northeastern states, we are getting 1,30,000 under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Recently, it has enhanced from IOI. Actually, Indira Awas Yojana was launched in 1986, and it continued up to 2015. So in the last part, we used to get 75,000 rupees as a unit cost of IOI houses. And from that prospect, in 2015, it has increased it has come 1,30,000. Then also, it is not sufficient enough for constructing a safe and durable house of 25 square meter plinth area. It is a mandatory provision. At least building plinth area should be 25 square meter. In Indira Awas Yojana, it was 20 square meter minimum plinth area with the conventional building materials available in the state. I have already told regarding these things. To develop a safe house design typology with this unit cost is a major challenge. Definitely for engineers is a major challenge. Apart from high building material cost, conventional building industry contribute more than 40% carbon emissions to the atmosphere. We know that very well. And this is main cause of global warming and climatic change. Any percent reduction in use of conventional building materials by replacing non-conventional or green building materials will be beneficial to address the environment issues. It is very much important. We have to conventional materials reduce the greenhouse gases emissions. The state scenario, as per census 2011, almost 75% of the houses of the state is semi-permanent and temporary in nature. Most of the houses, 83%, are found in rural areas. Use of untreated bamboo walling is very common in our rural areas. Almost 44% houses of census houses, near our census houses is 10.22 lakhs of the state, are mud wall houses. It's very much vulnerable, which is almost 4.51 lakhs. This is our main concern. And 30% houses made of untreated bamboo walls. Bamboo walls means basically kacha walls. Untreated bamboo means its shelf life only 1.5 years only. That walls, basically. And 15% houses is burnt bricks walls, 7% houses is GCI sheet walls, and rest of 4% is made of concrete, wood, polythene, etc. Almost 75% of the census houses of the state are very much vulnerable to the natural disaster. State is having a tendency to use GCI sheet as a roofing materials, and this is almost covered 80% of the total census houses. It's a peculiar tendency I have seen. Actually, Tripura is a heavy rainfall area, so people used to take GCI sheets as a roofing covering materials. And bamboo is also very costly nowadays, and thatch roofing is also not available so much. And people are not desired to. These are all kacha roofing materials. So GCI sheet, at least pakka roofing materials. 72% of total census houses having a mud flooring, which is not desirable for flood-prone areas and hygienic point of view, definitely. Redressal, what state has taken the initiative? Rural housing typology developed as per the guidelines and circulated to all blocks and districts for technology dissemination up to grassroots level. Training and workshop conducted involving beneficiaries. Also, for PMOIG beneficiaries, IOI beneficiaries, we have involved them in the workshop. We trained them. We have disseminated our technology to them. We have shown our models to them, and for their actually in rural housing sector, it's a of beneficiary how he will construct his own house. He may take the government designs. He may take the assistance from the engineers, or he may not. But it's a guidelines only. So that's why some basically, there is two types of houses. There is two types of construction practices, and everywhere you will see. One is engineered construction practices. One is non-engineered construction practices. And non-engineered construction practices basically depends on the local rural masons, those who are constructing their houses, and they should be very much skilled, at least, to make a scale building at least. So disaster safe buildings at least. So in that case, we have designed, we have circulated the typology to the up to GP level also. In Indira Awas Yojana also, we have developed so many models. We have circulated this, and we award people basically to construct a safe house, at least safe house. occupant safe for disaster point of view and for earthquake point of view. We know that earthquake never kills the people. Only faulty construction, faulty building basically kills the people. And for that reasons, occupant safety is most important parameter. We stopped construction and practice of mud wall houses under rural housing scheme. We are not encouraging any mud wall houses. We know that when earthquake vibrations, earthquake forces is coming through earth, it should not transfer to earth. That is the basic funda. What I believe. Then there will be resonance. So in that case, vibrations will be more. In that case, mud wall will be more vulnerable. So I believe mud wall, we should not construct any mud wall houses in our state under rural housing scheme. To upgrade skill and certification of local construction workers, state has developed a construction workers training institute, Tripura, that is, we named it CWTIT, from our own source of fund. And rural mission training under PMOIG has been initiated, involving CWTIT as a training provider and for quality construction practices throughout the state. It is most important because local construction workers should be certified with the definite course curriculum of NHDC developed by NHDC, National Skill Development Corporation, or DGNT, Director General of Employment and Training. And they are having a certified course of Mission 1, Level 1, Level 2, Level 3. These sort of courses are there. So we are training them and we are certifying them. More than 500 already rural construction workers has been trained and certified. And in that case, we can generate a good number of missions in our state, which is very much necessary for good construction practices in our state. And we have also stressed on the alternative building materials have been identified and reduced cost of construction and carbon emissions, training imparted demo house construction for beneficiaries to the popularize the materials. We have already done these things. These are our basic initiatives. And we have adopted the basically earthquake resilient features of IS code, basically. IS code, IS 4326 and 1993, category E, the rural housing typologies. On that basis, we have adopted 4-band concept. We know a house is nothing but a box where we can tie from bottom, from middle, from top. These sort of things we have developed, but we now in our typology, we have developed 4 bands concept. 4 band means plinth band, sill band, lintel band, roof band. It will create a good bondage of the building during the earthquake, definitely. And we are providing corner reinforcement in every wall junctions. And we also provide RCC jam, means RCC basically concreting the door windows opening sides, because these are all very much vulnerable during the earthquake. Vertical, basically diagonal cracks develop due to larger openings. For that thing, not to develop any cracks, we are using RCC jams at door windows portions. And this 4-band concept now people are also adopting. Corner reinforcement is very important. It's just like if I spread my hand in both way, and if I hold one stick, means 2 stick in my hand. If somebody is going to push me from the backside, then I'll transfer my body weight to that stick. So that stick will resist me not to fall down. So in that case, one corner reinforcement is also will give same strength to that building. It is like because bands are going through that corner reinforcement, so it will give a good, basically resilient structure during the earthquake. So we have adopted this sort of technology over there. We have developed this typology, PMOIG houses, and we have circulated that. I have talked to you in this regard earlier. So we have circulated these designs. All 6 models have been circulated to the grassroots level people, and people are adopting these things. This is the designs. What plinth area is 25.162 square meter is within the permissible, and these are the structural designs we have circulated to them. These are all one models I have shown. Surprisingly, we have seen ownership has been developed in PMYG Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. In concept, people are using their own funds to develop better construction, house construction. We have given only one reinforcement in the corner, but people are using RCC columns with at least four reinforcement, just like it's a good things we have come to know. And in our state, people are very much fond of barn pigs. And we cannot ignore that part also, because people used to stay in the in traditional practice. People used to stay in the kacha houses. Now they are having a dream of staying in the pakka houses. So barn pigs is very much demand demanding. So here also you can see the bands they have providing, all the bands they have provided. And roofing is basically GCIS roofing. You can see the transformation. You can see the transformations. This is the earlier house of beneficiaries. See kacha bamboo walls with mud up to window sill level. There is mud walls which is broken already. And now he is having a very pakka house. So I have given lots of examples for before and after these things. There is a GCI sheet walling with simple wooden and bamboo pillars, and that was the earlier condition, and now he is having pakka house. And this is also an example. You can see that condition, bamboo houses, now pakka houses. That is a tonghar. We used to, actually primitive tribes used to stay in that tonghar houses. Now they are staying in a pakka houses. Here also mud wall houses, you can see. Now he's having a pakka house. So under PMYG, we have developed this sort of, and now people are using this concept. At least they are making disaster resilience structures. And also they are involving their own fund also in that house. Government is supplying, government is giving 1,30,000 in 3 installment, and they are constructing their houses with that amount. And somehow we have seen that people are also using their own money to develop better house, better big house also. From 25 square meter, they are somewhere you will find 40 square meter of building. That is a bamboo and walls and mud walls now this age. And it is a typical in Mohanbog RD block. That lady was no house actually. That is a GCI. It's not a zero house basically. Now she is having this house with IHHL toilet blocks also, and it is compulsory in PMI houses. One toilet block has to be there. And now what construction skill development initiatives have taken by the state, we have developed these construction workers training institutions, Tripura, basically in Khumluk under West Tripura district. Basically, this is the training institutions for rural construction workers, basically. And they are training, they are taking the in-house training and also field training. See, this is basically, they are using the workshop training, this sort of. Training of alternative building materials also have been done by the Dr. P.K. Das, basically international consultant of UNDP, and he has trained them. And monitoring is also being done by our chief engineer, our ex-principal secretary of RD department, our additional secretary, ex-additional secretary. They also monitor. And CRF of Government of India basically is found as best institution. It is basically. District level, basically rural machine training is being also done in various districts, and certification of rural machines is done to develop safe construction practices. Now, what we have used is use of appropriate technology with alternative building materials in rural housing sector also. We have done this practice with the involvement of UNDP, Government of India, basically MHA. We have taken this initiative in 2015 and 16 financial year to develop some alternative building materials in rural housing sector. We have identified this treated bamboo based technologies for walling and roofing, stabilized mud block based technologies for basically walling, and retro bond masonry technology for wallings basically. Bamboo based engineering material. Bamboo can be a very good engineering material. We know that Tripura is the second largest in bamboo production in northeastern regions, and bamboo has a very good tensile strength. Its fiber strength is just like a steel. It's almost 650 MPa. So we can use that if we treat the bamboo in proper manner with a proper chemical treatment. Then bamboo can be used as a very good construction materials. And stabilized mud block. Stabilized mud block is basically stabilizer for stabilizing the mud block. We use basically 5 to 7% cement. And stabilized mud block is an alternative of barn bricks. We have because barn bricks cost is too much in the state. So if we can develop some alternative building materials instead of barn bricks, so it will be very beneficial to the rural poor people. So in that concept, we have developed this assembly machines. We have bought some assembly machines. We have trained in the district level, and this assembly machine size is almost equal to 2 barn bricks, and costing is coming almost half of the barn bricks. And basically, and it is also for environmental beneficial because assembly is required only tilla land, means hilly land of red soil, and but fertile cultivated soil is required for barn bricks. So in that case also, it is very much beneficial. So stabilized mud block, using of stabilized mud block is very, very important. I believe it can be done in Tripura. So retro barn machinery technology is also important because people are using barn bricks. Very commonly it is seen. So one cube in English bond or family bond, if we are going to construct the walls with English bond and family bond, there is required of 390 bricks in per cubic meter of basically walls. But in retro bond of same thickness, basically it's a cavity bond, and basically in that box only 280 bricks is required. So in that case we are reducing the consumption of bricks, and technology saves almost 30 to 35% less mortar and costing also 230 same size of walls, and it's a cavity wall just because of that. So thermal comfort is also there in the building. So it's a very good concept. So we can adopt this sort of things. So we have done this practice in Shipajala district, and we have used this technology, and we have developed with the help of Dr. P.K. Das, UNDP consultant. He has developed, we have developed 4 models. First of all, we have trained the local artisans with bamboo treatment concept, how they can do the things, training on bamboo treatment and truss making. Truss is very important because people are using GCI sheets. So under GCI sheet structure, one truss has to be developed. Nowadays, previously in Indira Awas Yojana, truss was made of iron, tubular black iron pipe. Now, in that case, we can change this with bamboo structure, bamboo iron truss, bamboo trusses with proper jointing and everything. So here we are showing how we are doing these joints with nut and bolt joints and tying with basically cane strips to resist the shear forces. Here we have developed this bamboo truss first, and then we have identified from where the bamboo can be procured. We used Konokai's bamboo for these things. It's a very straight bamboo and solid bamboo. We identified the area where it is very much available, and then we procured the things from that area, Tullonaran area, where we treat the bamboo with CCB treatment, copper, chrome, boron treatments. Now you see the saps is coming, means sugar is coming from the bamboos, and sugar is very attracted by the termites. That's why bamboo decays. So
Sumit Saab, we have to conclude it.
Yeah. Just conclude.
We are already exceeded too much of time.
Okay. Just conclude. And this is the truss what we have done, and this is what the assembly training has been done. This is the basically I am skipping that part. how cost is savings from other building walls, how carbon emission is savings, this sort of practices. We have developed these models, we have demonstrated to the rural poor people, and we have done the construction practice. See stabilized mud block walls, how it has done. This is the whole construction, what we have done. This is the costing, which is coming 1,30,000 only, and within 31 days, this construction has been done. And this is the truss, and this is the buildings, what innovative buildings we have made. This is the buildings with the innovative materials, and it has been demonstrated in the Agra during the launching program of PMOIG, and our Honorable Prime Minister appreciated our initiatives. Thanks a lot. Before starting my presentation, I have shown one Tonghar. This is basically Tonghar. Now, this is the transformation of Tonghar. Now, he has made a Pakka house. So, that's why the transformation is made. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sumit sir. Before Yogita take over, I'm having just one or two queries. One is that why this Tonghar is on stilts?
Because they used to make this sort of common practice. They used to stay in the jungle areas, so wild animal used to come here, and they also keep their piggery, goatary, and duckery in that only. That is a common natural practice in Tripura, actually.
And what is the exclusive use of this Tonghar?
And now, actually, in primitive tribal group program, sir, we have already taken initiative to develop 1,600 houses for Pakka, making of this Tonghar. Actually, Tonghar is not durable enough, sir. So we have taken this initiative to develop Pakka houses for them.
Very interesting presentation, sir. So that was the purpose of this webinar, to listen to some interesting presentations. And as Sarasa was mentioning in the beginning, so I think we are moving in the right direction. So over to you, Yogita, you can take over, and questions will take towards the end, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sorry. Well, hi. Yeah, madam. I'm listening.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I can.
So let you say
Okay. Thank you, Yogita. Good afternoon. At first, I would like to convey my sincere thanks and gratitude to NIDM and
Kapil Saab, your voice is breaking. Yeah.
And now I am audible. Am I audible now?
Audible, sir. Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Audible, sir.
Acha. Then I am straight away. I am entering to my the presentation. So, here we connect.
Are you able to share? Yes, it's coming, sir.
Yes, hotspot on করে দেবো, connect on করে দেবো। Password কি? One minute, madam. Is it displayed, madam? Okay. Then I can, now I am audible. Can I start?
Say that it's audible, sir, because it's started as visible in the
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Actually, this my topic is traditional construction practices using bamboo in Tripura and some strengthening techniques for disaster and earthquake. It is needless to say that bamboo is a material which is, I think it is the cheapest material on this earth, which is being used by the people all over in every part of the world as a construction material, building material. As construction material, bamboo has a very strong fiber. The compressive strength of bamboo is 2 times higher than concrete, while the tensile strength is close to steel. Bamboo fiber has a shear stress that is higher than wood. That means it is a material. In the same material, we will get the strength of compressive strength of concrete and tensile strength of steel, as well as the shear strength of wood also. Bamboo as a building materials. Bamboo is being used since ancient times as a low-cost material for houses, bridges, etc. Recently started appearing in designer homes as flooring, walling, and paneling materials. Particularly in interior design, bamboo is nowadays a very popular material. It is actually viewed as a material which is preferred by the poor, but that is poor man's building material, and it is also very unpopular in conventional constructions due to low durability, lack of structural design data, exclusion from building codes. Because it's low, we all know this durability of bamboo is very less, and at the same time we are not having that much of structural design data at present, and also in building codes it is not the presence of bamboo is not in that way. So these are some that problems with bamboo is still there. Some facts about bamboo. Bamboo is a perennial grass and not a tree, as is commonly perceived. Bamboo, normally people thinks bamboo is also a tree, but it is comes under the that year of grass only. This is not tree, and there are almost 1450 species of bamboos are available throughout the world. But all of them are not used in construction purposes. And the unique things of this material is it is a very fastest growing plants. So its growth rate ranges from 30 centimeter to 1 meter in 24 hours. So it can be regenerated in a very short span. So unlike this wood, which to get a matured wood from a tree, we will have to wait for at least 20 to 25 years. For in case of bamboo, it is a very, even within 2-3 years we can get a full grown up bamboo. Some advantages of bamboos. The strength. So it is already already I have told the bamboo has the strength of compressive strength, tensile strength, and shear strength. So the bamboo is an extremely strong natural fiber and at par with standard hardwoods when cultivated, harvested, prepared, and stored properly. So it is a very strong building material, but it have to be properly treated. So that is the main things. I will discuss it later on. Next is the flexibility, which is the unique quality of this material. It is highly flexible. During its growth, it may be trained to grow in unconventional shapes. So we can get this bamboos in a very different shape also as per our choices. So this is one, and another is due to its flexibility, we can get your archways, carved shapes. This type of things we can get from bamboo because of its flexibility. And another unique thing, it is earthquake resistance. It has a great capacity for shock absorption, which makes it particularly useful in earthquake prone areas. So it is a very ductile material like steel. So it can withstand the shock of the vibration, the tremor of the earthquake. And at the same time, this bamboo has some limitations also. So this has a lot of problem in joining techniques. So in traditional houses, what we see, because of these joints, because of this wrong way of tying of joints, this bamboo construction sometimes collapses during the time of cyclones. And another thing is the flammability. It is highly flammable, and another problem is that to make it fire resistant, it takes a lot of cost expenditure. So it is highly expensive to make it fire resistant. And the third one is the lack of design guidance and codifications. So the engineering design of bamboo structures has not been yet fully addressed. There is little or no data containing specifications of bamboo. So this is another area that we have already discussed earlier. This the bamboo, because if we like to make constructions with bamboo, so every time we have to test it and we have to get detailed analysis of it. So as there is no standard data are available, and there is no standard codes of bamboo is also available. Bamboo houses conventional vis-a-vis improved system. Conventional or traditional bamboo houses, all of we know what type of bamboo houses are there. Mainly, there are two problems. One is the durability of bamboos, which is used in walls, in posts, in roof trusses, even in roofing also. So these bamboos, to increase this durability of bamboos, the proper treatment is required. I will discuss it later on. And another problem that we have already discussed is the joints. So this the main two problems are there. One is the durability, another is joints. These are the traditional bamboo houses which is available in our state, but however nowadays these bamboo houses are also becoming scarce. Untreated bamboos. What happened to untreated bamboos, we know. So this is a case of bamboos attacked by fungus. So fungus, these bamboos are very much prone to fungus, then borers and termites. So if we like to treat bamboo, so it should be treated to take these problems against this termites and all these attacks. These are the typical problem with bamboos. Now the treatment of bamboos, which is actually so far bamboo technologies or bamboo construction is concerned, the main part, the major part is the treatment of bamboo. So unless the bamboos is treatment, the whole efforts will go into the vain. Depending upon the carrier solvents, bamboo preservatives are divided into two different categories: non-fixing and fixing type preservatives. Non-fixing preservatives will leach out the bamboo when exposed to rain. In other words, non-fixing type preservatives are not suited for outdoor use. So actually the treatments are mainly, there are two types of treatments. One is this non-fixing types. This non-fixing type treatments means that the bamboos will be treated with some chemicals or solutions which may leach out when it will come in contact with water, particularly in during rain. So this type of preservative, this type of treatment can be done for exclusively use in interiors. Non-fixing type preservatives. What type of preservatives will be used in non-fixing types? Non-fixing bamboo preservatives mainly consist of boron salts, which are effective against borers, termites, and fungi, except soft and rot fungi. These boron salts are dissolved in water. After treatment, the water evaporates, leaving the salts inside the bamboo. They are not toxic and can be used for treating bamboo products like baskets, dry containers, etc., which come in contact with food products. So these are salts, the combination of salts in some ratios which will be mixed with water, and the actually the water part will evaporate, and the these chemicals will remain in the bamboo as a residue. And this is non-toxic and can be used anywhere. There are two types of chemicals are there. In Formula 1, this is boric acid, borax. Boric acid and borax in the ratio of 1:1.5. And another combination is there, that is boric acid, borax, and sodium dichromate in the ratio of 2:2:0.5. That is sodium dichromate is 0.5. Sodium dichromate is a little bit costlier than other two chemicals. The concentrations, the recommended concentrations will be 4.5% for indoor use, not exposed to weather or ground water. Now the fixing type of preservatives. Fixing type preservatives, this chemical bamboo, sorry. These chemical bamboo preservation formulations are proportionate mixtures of different salts which interact with each other in the presence of bamboo and become chemically fixed. In principle, the degree of fixation and efficacy depends upon the nature of the components and their combination and concentration. So these are the salt. These salts will interact each other in the presence of bamboo. So ultimately, it will fix to the bamboo. And for example, chromium is responsible for fixation. Copper is effective against decay, fungi, and soft rot. And the third compound acts against insect and fungus. That means the chromium part is responsible for fixation. And copper is copper is effective against the decay by fungi and soft rot. And the third compound, this is the arsenic part. This arsenic part, which is that will take care of insect and fungus. The process of fixation requires some weeks, during which the material should be stored under cover. Slow fixation is preferred in case of bamboo, as it allows diffusion and better distribution of preserving salts. So more the time taken for fixation, the fixing will be better. There are two types of chemical solutions are used. One is called CCA, another is called CCP. CCA is copper chromium arsenic solution, and the CCP is copper chromium boric acid. Actually, arsenic is, all of you know, arsenic is a toxic matter. So sometimes there may be some reservation against this material. So because of that, somewhere CCB, that combination is used. But
Kapil sir,
anyway,
we have to expedite the presentation.
CCA is more than CCB. CCA is a heavy-duty, broad-spectrum chemical bamboo preservatives patented as ASCU. It has been found to provide protection for 50 years or more. Outdoor use is recommended only due to the arsenic component, which can also causes a green coloration on the bamboo. A green color may appear in the bamboo after the treatment of this bamboo. The formula is arsenic pentoxide, copper sulfate, and sodium dichromate in the ratio of 1:3:4. And the recommended concentration for outdoor use in case of structure exposed to weather but not in contact with ground is 6%. and 10% for outdoor use, where it will be exposed to structure weather. The structure will be exposed to weather, but it may be in contact with the groundwater.
Sir, we have to
Now
close
the copper chromium boron CCB combination.
कपिल साहब थोड़ा जल्दी फिनिश करना है.
हेलो,
हाँ थोड़ा सा जल्दी करना है क्योंकि वी आर रनिंग लेट.
हाँ, यस सर. CCB is in place of arsenic, the boron will be used. So these are some slides where this treatment is. This is a spray of these chemicals on the stalks of this bamboo, where bamboos are stocked. These chemicals are sprayed. This is another process where a water tank is used, where in the water tank that chemical solutions will be there and bamboo will be stocked in this way. So due to capillary actions, automatically this solution will go upwards, and ultimately it will be wholly soaked by the bamboo. The same process. And some improved systems for joints. I will show some pictures only. So these are some improved systems of joining. Now bamboo houses with improved technology. So this adopting proper treatment process for bamboos to be used in construction of houses, proper joints and bamboo trusses, use of bamboo kit ferrocement technology in walls, use of resin bonded bamboo made corrugated sheets for roofs. So these are the technology which are being used, improved technology for a bamboo constructions. I am showing some slides with these technologies. This is the walling and the bamboo columns. The columns, if required, it can be combination with a group of bamboos also. And the walls are actually this split bamboo, the combination of split bamboo and chicken mesh. Then it will be plastered with sand cement mortar on the both sides. This is the joint of the roof truss. This is the structure of the bamboo house, and this is the completed house. So in this way we can improve the traditional houses in through proper treatment of bamboo, through taking the innovative techniques of bamboo, and also through imparting trainings to our artisans. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Please go ahead. And before Arvinda take over, I just add that Arvinda is highly enthusiastic and very keen disaster manager. He has served so many things, and He's still pursuing a lot disaster management at community level. His specialization include traditional knowledge, of course, but school safety as well. So he has been instrumental in doing a lot of work at Tripura level, as Sarath told in the beginning. So Arvinda Chaudhary is one of the main pillars of disaster management at state level. Arvinda Chaudhary, please.
Okay.
Arvinda, are you there?
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
our
Please go
respected
ahead.
organizer, coordinators, and the speakers, moderators, and the participants who are in the online platform right now. So, first of all, sir, am I audible? Please let me know, sir.
Yes.
Sir, am I audible? Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so directly, as we have time constraint, so directly I am entering to the presentation. To start, prosperity plan.
So it is coming. Sir.
This is the okay. The prosperity plant. This is the local name. This is the local name, and its scientific name is Ipomia. It is playing a vital role in Tripura to prevent river bank erosion. So today we'll be discussing about the strategy how to plant it to minimize erosion for mitigation purpose. We know that natural disasters have been one of the worst enemies for the mankind from time immemorial. We have undertaken several efforts to stop disaster, but we have come to know hazards are inevitable. But through our collective actions, we can minimize the impact, means we can avoid the disaster. That's why today we are sitting here. We know that the Tripura as in Dr. Amir Ali Khan sir pointed out, this is the Tripura, that is, we are living in zone 5, and Tripura is 100% prone to cyclone also. Beside of other hazards, landslide, we experience flood. I mean, sort of drought in that sense. That dry spells we experience in Tripura. So today my presentation is basically on flood, how to reduce erosion. We know that a heavy rainfall triggers flood, and the impacts of the flood is the erosion. And we have also noticed that poor families, they are living in extreme river bank, which is exposed to erosion. And poverty drives them to stay there, and they have to migrate again and again because of the erosion. That's why riverbank erosion or flood, it's a nightmare for the poor families who are living in the extreme riverbank. And the damages that caused due to erosion, house damage, land damage due to erosion, we have noticed it. Household items also get damaged, loss of lives and injuries, livestock or also take place, transportation problems so that may arise due to erosion, crop field damage, and migration, that is also a problem. All triggered by erosion. In order to avoid the risk, we need to have disaster risk reduction activity for flood prevention, mitigation, and preparedness. Our government is struggling hard, and they're undertaking series of activities in these aspects, disaster risk reduction. For that, we need to undergo a detailed survey, that is HRV analysis, hazard risk, vulnerability and capacity analysis to identify appropriate, once again, appropriate disaster risk reduction activities. And the first step is the identification. And then we need to integrate these listed activities into the disaster management plan at all levels, streamlining with the ongoing developmental programs, as well as central sponsored schemes for its implementation. But how far it is possible to protect the riverbank by placing CC RCC per wire crates, because those are cost effective projects, yet government is undertaking these projects to protect riverbank, to protect markets, buildings, roads, bridges, etc. But what about the other parts? Both part of the river cannot be protected by placing CC blocks. Those are expensive. At that point, we need to identify low-cost traditional coping practices for mitigation. Today, we will be discussing about it. As nature has created the problem, at the same time, nature has gifted the solution also. Comulilota. It is a local plant. It is available everywhere. In the first slide, I have shown the photographs also. I think all of you are familiar with this specific plant. It is available alongside the riverbed of Tripura. Not only Tripura, in other states also. In Tripura, its name is Comulilota. In other states, its local name may be different. And observed that where Comulilota bush exists, there is no erosion. Observed it, and observation changed their mindset to adopt this practice. It can the soil, it can check the velocity of the flood water. This is the characteristic of this particular plant, and it reserves silt. It reclaims land from the riverbed. I'll be showing you some photographs later on. And does it protect the embankments? Does it protect the river banks from being eroded? How does it work? I'll not take much more time. A diagram has been shown here. Comulilota, it is planted. The community people, what they are doing in Tripura, they used to plant this Comulilota not alongside the river bank only. They plant it at least 1 to 2 meters in the river bed from the river bank, covering the bare river bed, which is covering the bare submerged bare river bank. Upper river bank, that is, which is upper from the water level. What happens? Why it is? It is because flood water is directly to Comulilota bushes first, and loses its velocity. With the less velocity when the flood water hits the river bed, bare river bank, that is the submerged part, and with less velocity, the flood water layer passes through the river bank. So naturally, less quantity of melted soil may be eroded from the submerged part. Thus, it is reducing the erosion. Again, if Comulilotas are planted in the submerged river bank, once again, submerged river bank, which is the, not only the upper part of the river bank, then the direct heat, it is absorbed by the Comulilota bushes first, because it is acting like a fence. So naturally, erosion is reduced. this strategy is being adopted by the community people of Tripura. See, here is an example. Some photographs, as I told with you, I'll be sharing. Tishabari under Telemara subdivision under Quidis. You see the point A, it is marked that there was the some 15 to 20 years back. In 2007, when CBDP project was implemented by Jananish Samiti Tripura, funded by Caritas India, then we measured it. The river bank was in 2007 in point B, and in 2009 the river bank was in point C. Land was reclaiming, and in 2010 till June, the photograph I have taken, this was the present river bank. Again, the same practice is going on. Community people are planting community. You can see in the photographs also the stumps has been planted by the community people. And the reclaimed river banks, they are using for cultivation purpose. From A to D, the river bank has been reclaimed. Now, since 1990 to 2007, 700 feet land was recovered from the river bed, which once was eroded, A to B point. And in 2007 to 2009, B to C, 125 feet land was recovered. And in 2000 to 2015 June, 53 feet land was reclaimed, C to D point. So, establish the fact how Kamlilata is reclaimed river bed, which is being used as a cultivation purpose. This is the again under Telemara subdivision nowadays, where Telemara railway station is there. During the bridge construction, you can see there are 4 pillars are there in Chalitabari. First pillar was in the river bank, bank. 4th pillar was in the river bank, but 2nd and 3rd pillar was in the river bed. If you enlarge the image, you can see both the pillar was in the river bed during construction of the rail bridge. Now, what happened? Community people, they were continually planting the Kamlilata. Now see in 2009, when the bridge was constructed, pillar, 2nd pillar and 3rd pillar has come into the river bank. Not in the, now it is not in the river bed. Means till 2nd pillar the land was reclaimed. And when we measured, we found that 45 within 2 years is due to Kamlilata. That is a satellite image. Earlier river bank, it is I am talking about Tishabari, that photographs I shared earlier with you. Brown, the earlier river bank. Green line indicates where Kamlilata bushes exist. From between brown and green line, the reclaimed land is being used for cultivation purpose. Means it is enhancing their livelihood. Otherwise, poor people could be more poorer. And this is the present river bank. I am talking about Kwai River. See, the practice is going on. Community people planted Kamlilata 2 meters away from the river bank to the river bed. It is reducing the direct heat of the flood water into the river bank during flood, which may cause the erosion. Now the erosion is been reduced because the kinetic energy has been reduced because of the Kamlilata bushes, which is existing in front of the river bank. It is acting as a fence like. Because of the Kamlilata, friction force has also been reduced. So because of 2 reasons, erosion is being reduced. Here is the difference between the practice as well as the government schemes. In Kamlilata, zero cost involved, no cost is involved. Kamlilata is available everywhere. Families, Kamlilata, concerned families during the project, as Sharad Babu in the beginning session shared, that we are working with the community people. At family level, we are working. We motivated them to adopt the practice. Now, to save their houses, the community and the particular families, they were planting by themselves the plants, the special plants, Kamlilata, alongside the river bank, because otherwise their houses may get eroded. So concerned families can continue the plantation following simple strategy. What is the strategy? Just plant in the riverbed at least 1 or 2 meter away from the river bank into the riverbed. But in case of government projects, particular families unable to continue. CC block they can't place. RCC Parkway and particular family can't place. In Kamlilata, no expertise is required, but place engineers, skill man is required. Kamlilata, it is easily available. Everywhere it is available. And Kamlilata, it same land. Where? If we compare with the bamboos, Kamlilata's root system, it is naturally forms a banding like, a fence like, bending the soil and makes the soil compact. It can survive in the adverse condition also. It is available everywhere. Few minutes back also I have shared with you. Everywhere. There are other uses of the Kamlilata. The branches can be used as a fence. In Tripura, bamboos are there. But what community people are doing, they are using the, Kamlilata in their crop field. They are using it as a fence. They are making fence using this. They are not using bamboos. In comparison to the bamboos, Kamlilata is too cheaper. And these branches or the Kamlilata may be used as fuel also. They are used, cooking purpose. It is eco-friendly. No investment is required. And even the leaves can be decomposed and may be composted also. So these are the other uses or benefits of the Kamlilata. A few photographs. Community drive for plant. You can see this is a change of behavior. They are planting. They have adopted the strategy. This is a practice because it is their land. To save their land, they have taken the initiatives. It is low cost. They can do it. And now, question: how to integrate it in the developmental program? This practice in Spare India in 2010 in Delhi, they organized a 2-day workshop for good traditional cooking practices in India. And this particular practice, Kamlilata plantation to reduce erosion, it was recognized as one of the good traditional practice in India to reduce erosion. Professor V.K. Sharma and Professor Santosh Kumar was also present during that program. Even the scope for integration with MHA. Revenue Department, Tripura Authority and Revenue Department, Govt of Tripura, in its annual report 2011 to 12, in third, clearly mentioned successful community knowledge and for combating flood and soil erosion. Title: Disaster Risk Reduction Practice Toward Soil Conservation. And that practice was also shared with other DDMAs across the state. And DDMA Dhalaya North, they have taken initiative for incorporating Kamlilata plantation into MHA program as one of the disaster risk reduction initiatives. So it can be integrated easily with MG and Rega for riverbank protection. So I had this much to share with you all. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, Arvinda, for a nice presentation. So go ahead, Yogita.
Presentation. Yeah. That's
Okay, so Arvinda, first to you. How many places have you used this Komli Lata? Do you have some data about this?
Actually, sir, we undertook the practice when I was in a particular project, that is community and so in Teliamora subdivision in several 15 villages. Out of 15 villages, some 9 villages, the practice was undertaken.
Okay.
By,
And
community
Sarat
people.
Sahab, how it's practiced at state level? Any idea?
Yeah. Actually, many thanks to Mr. Aravind Chaudhary for his good presentation. Actually, what we have done, just want to share with you all. We have scaled up with the government intervention under this EMG and REGA. We have integrated, that is one of the activities for the soil erosion and also the plantation purposes. So all the districts we have requested, and how far the information I got. 2 years back, rather, 3 districts they have implemented: Dhalai, your Khoi district, and Unakoti district. These 3 districts they have implemented. They have scaled up.
Okay.
Again, we want to spread this, monitor and also scale up for other areas.
It's a good technique, and we shall promote it. It's locally available. There is no expenses, and it's very easy to implement, and we can save some land from erosion and all these things. So thank you so much, Arvinda, for nice presentation. So let's go to
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Kapil for bamboo thing. There are a few questions about his presentation. Kapil Saab, are you there?
Yes, sir.
So one question is, first of all, let me thank you once again for a nice presentation. Use of bamboo in construction practices is definitely being promoted at national level. And Government of Maharashtra, you might be aware about that, Kapil sir. Government of Maharashtra is promoting bamboo like anything for construction of houses.
Right, sir.
And schedule of rates, they have included bamboo costing and all these things. So bamboo is being utilized as a big resource for construction industry, and it's definitely, as you rightly mentioned, that with a lot of qualities. But the specific question is that have you done some material testing for bamboo before treatment and after treatment?
No, sir, not yet here.
Okay. So please go for that and then see that how strengths are being enhanced or reduced, or what is the outcome. And another question from my side is that how are you looking forward or what are you doing for fire safety in those type of houses?
Some chemicals are there. Some chemicals are there. With that chemicals, applying with those chemicals, it can be made fire retardant. But the cost of these chemicals is very high. The cost will be a little bit higher.
Okay, so but definitely, how is the use in government buildings, and how popular in locals? Definitely, are the locals using it as a you can say under compulsion, or it's a first choice building material in this state?
Now, it is already being used by the local peoples, but that is the untreated bamboos.
Yeah,
They are
this is the
using
issue.
untreated bamboos. But the main problem is with the treatment of bamboo. So for which actually this the treatment plants, it may be in the form of common facility center that should be set up in a block level or subdivision level. Then people can utilize take advantage of this common facility center for treatment of their bamboos. Then it can be this technology can be propagated.
Okay. So we will take a few more questions, but let's go to Sumit Saab. Sumit Saab, how is the Pakka houses in the state and the masonry houses, masonry and framed structures? How many percentage of those structures are there?
Now increasing. In earlier in 2011 census, it was only 15%. Now increasing like anything, because people are now looking for these pakka houses, because whatever Kopil sir has told that very categorically, people are using untreated bamboos. That's why bamboos are decaying, and construction of houses, this wall basically hardly it takes shape life is 1 or 2 years. And in that case, and people are people are staying in the kacha houses only in the rural Tripura. So now people are demanding for pakka houses, and government idea is also to give the pakka houses at least shelf life of 30 years. 30 years. So earthquake resilient features have to incorporated in that houses. That is our main motto. So in that case, even also whatever you have asked me that question, Tangar, why it is elevated. Because it was very much seen in the rural hilly terrains. People are used to construct that houses to resist from those intervention of wild animals and everything. And also we have seen that people are putting their poultry farms, piggery farms in the underground that portion. No? So in that case, huge malaria problem was there because of unhygienic situation. So we have reduced that part. We taken care of those houses, and for there we have taken up a program, primitive tribal program, that is PTG houses, and now we are transforming that houses.
And definitely with those not so well designed or well constructed pillars on which those houses are those are not safe against shaking. So that is another issue.
Yes, sir. So, shaking and cyclone also.
Cyclone also. So we have to shift to that pakka form of structures. And
yes, sir,
are you also propagating those bends at various level, those traditional construction practices? I don't know whether you studied in your graduation level, or definitely those are like propagated by Professor Arya's manuals or ISET manuals, and those bends at various levels, are those being propagated in proper pakka construction things? And how is the acceptability? Propagation is one thing, but acceptability among the masses about that. And your construction, that training institute which you have shown, definitely they must be propagating all those things.
Yes, sir.
But the acceptance part, my question is related to acceptance of the local communities on that.
Sir, it is true that Cosford, Kerala is doing lots of works on stabilized mud blocks and all those things, alternative building materials development. And in our MGN Rega also, in that scheme also, alternative building materials can be propagated and can be used in government buildings also, sir. So now acceptance in that case, sir. Still we have tested that stabilized mud block in our local NIT office. We found that it is strength is 55 kg per centimeter square, means almost second class bricks strength. But we have to increase that part also. So that's why we are just how to develop better stabilized mud block, and people will accept these things, because barn bricks cost is very high in that case. If they are going to get a alternative solution of barn bricks, then people will definitely and another positivity is there, because in stabilized mud block you need not to do any plastering, because both end is very smooth. In brick wall, you need to do plastering. So in that manner also, we can, because in low cost housing, 20% cost is involved in plastering only. So in that part, we can reduce that part, and we can encourage. So in other district, in Dhalai district also, we have already taken the demonstration houses and also trained up the missions in this regard. So I hope definitely it will helpful for this.
Okay. And my another question to you as well as to Sarat Saab is that how do you rate your built environment? Is it safe from multi-hazard perspective? Like you are highly prone to winds and cyclones and earthquakes, and definitely occasionally with the floods as well. So are we having some traditional construction practices to safeguard against floods as well? And all three have been taken care of while developing a house at local level or in villages or by the local community? Are they aware about all these issues? And how do you rate the built environment of the state from disaster point of view? And this is to both of you, Sarat Saab as well. And even Kapil Saab can also join in.
Let's start answer that part first.
Yeah, good. That I wanted to listen from you. Anyway, the thing is that what you said, this is very pertinent to the built environment. I should say we are satisfied with the government buildings, government buildings
definitely.
because they are hospitals. But when it comes to the community buildings to the people who are the village rural areas. Now, the concern is that we cannot say this much percent, but the tendency of construction of disaster resilient building is high. For example, the rural development department, they have developed different models for the beneficiaries to choose any of the models for the acceptability, for the aesthetic point of view, and also the cost of point of view, for housing projects like PMAV, RGAY, and other schemes. That is the number one. Number two is that now the people are shifting from the Assam type houses, the thatched houses, the thick brick wall structures to the RCC structures. So when they are there, as in Tripura, I can say most of the masons, they are trained. They are trained on the earthquake disaster resistant features. So now there is the awareness at in the community level. When the person is building the permanent structure, so definitely the first key stakeholder, that mason, is training them, then definitely you construct this earthquake resistant features. Let it be the cost maybe little high, but they can do. So availability of the supply, resource service, supply services is available at the community level. Third thing, government is taking lots of awareness programs, training capacity building of these artisans, masons, and also implementing the community level structures, pertaining not only to earthquakes but also the cyclones and also the floods, because Tripura is also very, very highly prone to floods. So low-lying areas, for example, PMA houses in low-lying areas not advisable. So that the check and balance for provision of the housing schemes by the government in those vulnerable areas, that is being done. But those persons, where there is no awareness and this thing, metals are not available. That already told here metal cost is very high. So that's the problem. Then government is in the way to check it out. But somehow or other, Tripura is better than the other states, I can say.
Yeah, sure.
Truly said, sir.
So let's move to conclude it, because we have already exceeded by half an hour or so. So let me give the last chance to our speakers to say concluding remarks and their level of confidence on built environment safety. And with all those things, Arvinda, you have one or two sentences to close your things. Arvinda Chaudhary.
I can say, sir. Okay.
Yes,
Arvinda,
sir.
are you there? Please say
Yes, sir.
closing remarks.
Sir.
And be
So,
brief,
sir,
very brief.
Sir, first of all, I am thankful to you and the other organizers and the speakers for giving me the opportunity to be with you, to share my ideas, and what Tripura has, the community people of Tripura, what they did. I expect the other parts of India also who are facing similar problems, They will also be able by reducing erosion to reduce erosion by adopting this low-cost traditional cropping practice. If any assistance is required, any guidance is required, means any kinds of cooperation is required, I'm ready to extend. So with again, thanking you all of you.
Thank you.
And
So Kapil Saab,
discussion.
your closing remarks. Kapil Burman Saab.
Yes, sir.
If you want to add something, just the closing one.
I have some just two words. That is that there will be a request from me to the government that government should take a role of facilitator, particularly in providing infrastructure for this common facility center for treatment of bamboo. And another is for imparting training to the artisans with this innovative alternative technologies. And another thing is the awareness campaign, which is very much required because peoples are a little bit have reservation accepting this new technologies. So awareness is very much required to change their mindset. So
Okay. So Sumit Majumdar Saab, your last words.
Sir, definitely, sir. Sir, in our state, government buildings are taken care by the engineers, and it is completely, I can say that disaster resilient structures are being adopted in the government buildings. In private sector, sir, what we are doing, we are training the masons to develop this non-engineered building can be a earthquake resilient structure. So in that manner, we have achieved a lot. So now in built environment situation of Tripura is very good. At least I believe so. And construction practice are taken care of in the rural areas also. And RD department also taken initiative with the urban development to use the building rules to develop rules in rural areas so that people can care. People very much aware about the situation of Tripura, that they are staying in a zone 5 disaster prone areas. People knows that part.
Okay.
So people are taking care, and whatever the typologies we are providing, and they are taking more care of that thing. They are using more steel in that in also I have seen that thing. For sir, I am dreaming of that portion in Tripura. I believe I already talked to Mr. Sharad Das in this regards also. I am dreaming that day when in the local shops we will find the treated bamboo construction materials available, so that people can easily take and buy the things. So standard specification with that.
Okay.
This thing.
No, I
So
will
it can be
definitely,
possible.
if I'm not able to forward you, you just remind me. I will forward you some more information on bamboo, use of bamboo in housing and all those things. Government
Yes.
of Maharashtra experiences and that,
Maharashtra already incorporated in the SOR itself. Sir.
yeah,
And
exactly.
we are
That's why I'm
also
saying.
trying
So,
that
but
thing.
it's a very positive step in that direction, and
Yes, sir.
we shall move in that direction. So, thank you very much. Now,
Thank you.
Shraddhas, this is your turn. And my specific question to you is that you told about building back better after that big earthquake, 5 point something magnitude. So you have to tell something about that as well as your closing remarks.
Okay. Specific to this 5.7 Richter scale of 2017 January, the earthquake occurred in Dhalai district. The damage occurred in Dhalai, Unakoti and North Tripura district much. One person died, but more than 1,000. Basically, the model structures are damaged. The model structure in Tripura, basically the thick wall. So government decided for reconstruction of those damaged houses by incorporating this disaster resistant features. So formed a committee of the engineers and also the bureaucrats how to ensure the disaster resistant construction and also ensure the timely completion of this reconstruction process. So within the limited fund, the fund total was available for house was 1,20,000 rupees. 1 lakh was given from the SDRF and 20,000 given from the RD schemes. So the condition was that this fund will be given to the beneficiaries, I mean the victims' families in the three phases, and that will be monitored by the district administration, basically the subdivision and block administration. So it was planned and executed in a very proper way within 8 months. Within the 8 months, because the earthquake occurred in January, then a plan proposal finalized by end of the January, and then execution done by end of the December. And then most of about 800 constructions were completed. Now that is the major success, I should say, in Tripura. This a post 2017 earthquake in Dhalai. So the the outcome was that the lessons learned from this disaster was replicated, captured, and replicated in other areas, particularly other districts. If something happens, then they can also plan. They can incorporate it in their district disaster management plans. Immediately, they can they should not do the go rough work and implement. And they can straight away they can implement that. And regarding the other aspects, Tripura government is trying to incorporate. One thing I want to say, the government of Tripura is, implementing this, Tripura building rules, which is, modified in 2019 last year in rural area also. In rural area, so definitely this is, very big task. And the execution, that the problem execution, but what Kapil Burman Bhumik have told, awareness is very much required. Awareness would be, this continuous awareness at different levels, and training capacity building. Though CWTIT, the Construction Workers Training Institution Tripura, is doing the best, but Pan India Skill in Development Program, it has to be taken up, that already processed. I think if it's done, that definitely all these training programs, the masons, artisans, they'll be certified as the disaster resistant technology trainings. And the closing remarks of mine, that this is the I think their traditional practices. This is the starting, and my request to the NIDM, particular to user, so we can have more number of training programs like this. These are construction practices. Then a non-structural mitigation was also we could not cover.
So
in this
let's
training
discuss slightly one-to-one and finalize something before announcing.
Yes. So thank you so much to NIDM, particular to Dr. Amir Ali Khan sir, my good friend, mentor, and the propeller of the new thinking on disaster management. And Ms. Yogita, I can see that your persuasion, this thing, prompting our resource person panelist all the time. Sir, you please send this, send that, do this within a very sweet way, so that everybody could organize and deliver in a right way. And the respected participants, all the respected participants, I can see all are there still. And though we have already crossed our limit of 45 minutes, but this is interesting. And our resource person, the 3 resource person, we are thinking to have the more resource person. But we first tried. Let's see how the enthusiasm, how the informative is, and we got the maximum plus outcome. Definitely, we'll be doing next in a better way and with the better themes. Thank you so much, sir, from my side.
And thank you from the side for accepting our invitation to be part of this webinar and helping us in identifying the jewels of the program, the resource persons. So, but every success is depend on the resource persons, and all 3 of them have justified their presence, and we have come out with a lot of learnings out of this, and I hope all the participants have also enjoyed listening this program. Few of the queries raised by the participants have been taken up, but definitely we are focusing on traditional knowledge and local construction practices in rural context and community context. So I think we are able to justify our discussion in this context. And with this, we just conclude and hand over this to Yogita for final closing things. And thank you to all 3 resource person, and Shraddhas and his team, is Madam Secretary as well, and every one of you for accepting our invitation to join in this program. Yogita, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Amir Ali Khan, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
मैं बाद में बात करता हूँ सबसे तीनों से इंडिविजुअली।
ओके ठीक है सर, हम बाद में बात करेंगे।
बट अभी योगिता को फॉर्मेलिटी पूरी करनी है।
तो अभी योगिता को दे दीजिएगा। ग्रेट,
Thanks. Okay.
So I also take this opportunity to thank Yogita for nicely and wonderfully conducting this webinar. And Yogita, you are the pillar, as Sarath has already noted this. So your persuasion and everything is going a long way, no doubt. So thank you so much for nicely conducting this. So thank you, Yogita, and I also take this opportunity to thank our Executive Director, Manoj Kumar Bindal sir, for guiding us, for taking up all these new challenges and encouraging us for all these conducting all these experimental new series of webinars, new topics every time. And friends like Sarath and other Sumit Majumdar, Kapil Sahab, Arvinda, all are old friends, no doubt, but all of them are helping us out in this. Madam Tanushri Burma is definitely requires a lot of appreciation and thanks for allowing us to conduct this program. So thank you to all. Thank you to all the participants, all the resource persons. Special thanks. Special thanks to Yogita and the entire NIDM team. On camera and off camera, you can understand that a lot of effort has go into that. So thank you all who has helped us in making this program a success. So for the participants, as Sarath was mentioning, we are going to organize a series of maybe for a Tripura specific program very soon. And topic and all these things will be finalized in consultation with Sarath and considering the local requirements. So we will be upcoming another series of webinars for local things in Tripura. So thank you so much. And with this, just conclude. Sarath, if you allow, we can conclude it and we can close it.
Thank you.
So thank you to all. Thank you.